What if the advice you've heard your entire life is actually ruining your success? Never quit. Winners never give up. Keep pushing no matter what sounds inspiring, but according to author and former poker champion Annie Duke, that mindset may be trapping millions of people in the wrong careers, bad businesses, failing relationships, and exhausting goals. Because sometimes the smartest thing you can do is quit. And in her powerful book Quit, Annie Duke explains why quitting is not weakness, it's strategy. Today, we'll break down the shocking psychology behind persistence, why successful people quit faster than everyone else, and how knowing when to walk away could completely change your future. By the end of this video, you may rethink everything you believe about grit, ambition, and success. Most people think success comes from persistence, and yes, persistence matters. But here's the problem. We celebrate sticking with things, even when those things are clearly failing. People stay in jobs they hate for decades. Entrepreneurs pour years into dead businesses. Students chase degrees they no longer want. Creators force content nobody watches. Why? Because quitting feels like failure. But Annie Duke argues something radical. Sometimes quitting is the reason people become successful, because every minute spent on the wrong thing is a minute stolen from the right thing. The dangerous myth of never quit. From childhood, we're trained to admire persistence. Movies celebrate the underdog who never gives up. Schools reward endurance. Motivational speakers glorify hustle. And over time, society turns quitting into something shameful. But Annie Duke says this creates a dangerous bias, because persistence is only valuable when the thing you're pursuing is actually worth pursuing. Think about it. If someone keeps digging in the wrong place, digging harder won't help. Yet emotionally, humans hate quitting. Why? Because quitting feels like admitting, I was wrong, I wasted time, I failed. So instead of walking away, people double down. And that's where lives get stuck. Duke explains that elite decision-makers think differently. They don't ask, how long can I endure this? They ask, is this still worth it? That single question changes everything, the sunk cost trap. One of the biggest ideas in the book is something called the sunk cost fallacy. This means people continue bad decisions simply because they already invested too much. Time, money, energy, emotion. Imagine watching a terrible movie in a theater. You hate it after 30 minutes. But instead of leaving, you stay another 2 hours because, well, I already paid for the ticket. That's irrational. The money is already gone whether you stay or leave. But emotionally, humans struggle to let go. And this doesn't just happen with movies. It happens with businesses, careers, relationships, degrees, and life goals. People say, I already spent 5 years on this. I can't quit now, I've come too far. But Annie Duke says, past investments should never control future decisions. The only question that matters is, if I started today from zero, would I still choose this path? That question is brutally powerful, because deep down, many people already know the answer. Why smart people quit faster? Here's the surprising part. The most successful people are often the quickest quitters, not because they're lazy, because they protect their time. Top investors cut losses quickly, elite entrepreneurs pivot fast, great leaders abandon weak strategies early, average people stay attached, successful people stay adaptable. Annie Duke learned this from professional poker. In poker, emotional players chase losses. They keep betting because they want to recover what they already lost. But great poker players fold constantly, even after investing money into the hand. Why? Because they know something most people don't. A bad decision does not become good simply because you invested more into it. That principle applies everywhere in life. Sometimes persistence is courage, but sometimes quitting takes even more courage, the identity problem. One reason quitting feels painful is because we attach goals to identity. People don't just say, I work as a lawyer. They say, I am a lawyer. That identity becomes dangerous Because now quitting feels like destroying part of yourself. This happens everywhere. Entrepreneurs, athletes, students, creators, even relationships. People fear the emotional pain of changing direction, so they stay stuck. Duke says we confuse persistence with self-worth, but your value is not tied to one path. A failed business does not make you a failure. Leaving the wrong career does not erase your intelligence. Changing direction is not weakness. In fact, it may be growth. Some of the most successful people in history completely reinvented themselves because they understood something important. Your future matters more than protecting your past identity. Winners use kill criteria. One of the smartest ideas in the book is called kill criteria. This means deciding in advance when you'll quit, before emotions take over. For example, if this YouTube channel doesn't grow after 12 months, I'll change strategy. If this business loses money for another year, I'll pivot. If I'm miserable in this career after 2 years, I'll leave. Most people never create exit rules, so emotions control everything. And emotions are terrible decision makers. When humans are emotionally invested, they become blind. That's why Duke says quitting decisions should often be made before starting, because your future self will be biased. Think about how powerful this is. Instead of endlessly forcing something that isn't working, you create intelligent boundaries, not out of weakness, out of clarity. This is exactly how elite investors operate. They know when to hold, and they know when to walk away. Opportunity cost, the hidden price of staying. Here's the deepest idea in the entire book. Quitting is not just about what you lose, it's about what you gain. Every yes to the wrong thing is a no to something better. If you stay in the wrong career for 10 years, you lose 10 years you could spend building the right one. If you stay in a failing project forever, you never free yourself for better opportunities. This is called opportunity cost, and most people completely ignore it. They focus only on what quitting costs them today, but they never calculate what staying might cost them tomorrow. That perspective changes everything, because sometimes the biggest risk is refusing to move on. How to know when it's time to quit. So how do you know when quitting is the right move? Annie Duke suggests asking a few difficult questions. 1. If I started today, would I still choose this? If the answer is no, that's important. 2. Am I staying because of hope or evidence? Hope alone is dangerous. 3. Is this still aligned with the life I want? People evolve. Goals should evolve too. 4. Am I afraid of failure or afraid of judgment? Sometimes people stay stuck simply because they fear what others will think. And finally, 5. What opportunities am I missing by staying here? That question can completely change your future. The world teaches us that success belongs to people who never quit. But Annie Duke teaches something more intelligent. Success belongs to people who know what to quit and what to commit to deeply. Because life is short, your energy is limited, your time is valuable, and staying loyal to the wrong thing can quietly destroy your potential. So maybe quitting isn't failure. Maybe quitting is wisdom. Maybe the real mistake is holding on too long. And maybe the next level of your life begins the moment you finally let go of what no longer serves you. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe for more powerful book breakdowns on psychology, business, leadership, and self-improvement. And comment below, what's one thing in life you know you should probably walk away from, because your future may depend on it?